There we
Hey,
go. There
how's
we
it
go.
going?
Good, good. Just a couple of tiny technical difficulties there, but I think everything's working.
Sweet. I'm shiny. I was are you still I thought you did a pre-show actually.
Normally I do. I just been a little bit busy this evening with a few things, so and then I didn't even realize the time. I looked and went, oh crap, it's like almost 11:30. So I thought I better get this ready. So
Yeah, time went quick.
yeah, I did today, sadly, but yeah.
Uh what's new?
Um, I wish I had something interesting to update you with, other than just I'm doing a couple of, as far as doing art, I've got a couple of little commissions I'm trying to finish up, and I probably won't be doing too much else because I'm going to be taking a trip in about 3 weeks. So
Yeah, you told me about that. Do you remember where was it again? I know you
I'm in
mentioned it.
England.
England?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, you've been
yeah,
talking about that for a while,
I
right?
have.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm finally going. It's finally coming together. So I've got the flight, the hotel booked, everything's ready to go.
Are you going for family? Where are you going again?
Mm. Well, I'm going to be on the so I'm going to be arriving in Gatwick, and then I'm going to be staying in Dover, which is more on the East Coast.
Okay.
Yeah, it's wow, it's sort of very long indirect family. It's connections up to my great aunts and whatnot that come down on a long different line, but
Do
um,
they you met everybody over there, or are these like new distant
no,
family
I
you
haven't met
never
them in person yet. Just online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a big deal.
Yeah. I'm really excited about it. So I'm just, and this is, I'm hoping just the first of more. I'm only have like 8 or 9 days to kind of see as much as I can. I'm not going to see that much. This is just mostly going to be in the Kent area. Uh,
Right. I
and I'm hoping to squeeze in a bit of London on the last day if I can. I might not be able to, but if not, I'm not too worried about it because I do hope to go back again. So
That's cool. Yeah, I have my step grandfather. Is that what you call it? Yeah, he's from somewhere near London.
mhm.
So like, yeah, maybe I would have some step family over there. I just haven't looked into it at all, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
My grandpa died in like 1992, so I was
Uh, yeah,
God, how old was I? Yeah, I must have been like
yeah.
10 years old, something like that. No, that doesn't make sense. 8 years old? Yeah, I was pretty young.
Mhm.
But that'd be neat. Because my aunt, one of my regular aunt, my aunt, so that, wait, hold on. Yeah, my aunt, his daughter, that's my real aunt. She's trying to get into her roots and stuff like that. She's 65, I guess. 60. She's trying to like reach out now to a lot of people.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
that's good for. Yeah, that's amazing. I have another friend that's going to go there too. Do you have any? Is there like an itinerary on what you're going to do there, or is it just going to be?
A little bit. We've got about 3 or 4 things we're going to see. I mean, mostly I'm because I'm going to be in Dover. There's a few nice things to see in Dover. Like the White Cliffs, the castle. We're going to go up to
Mhm.
Canterbury for maybe a day or two. There's a few things to see there. One of the things I wanted to see that not many people have heard about is up in Margate is something called the Shell Grotto that caught my attention. It's yeah, they were these underground tunnels that were discovered in the 1800s, and the tunnels are all completely lined with mosaics made with shells,
Mhm.
shells from the seashore, and
Wow.
like incredible, like millions of them. It goes like it takes 20 minutes to walk through the whole thing, and
Mhm.
they to this day nobody knows why it was built, by who, when. It's a complete mystery. They have no information on this at all. It was just discovered in the 1800s, and they've never been able to find out any information on it at all.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love
nothing.
stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
when I travel, man, when I was traveling, I think it wasn't a point of contention or anything, but I've traveled many times with Vince, and
Mhm.
like I'm really big on seeing the sites and then also trying to do social stuff.
Yeah.
Like both.
Yeah.
And like for him, he'd do like he wouldn't understand that sometimes. He
Yeah.
would just want to like do social stuff, and I'm like, no. I want to. We could do social stuff anywhere. Like we could be at home doing social stuff. I want to do both.
See things. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see
No,
like
definitely. I'm in the
everything.
UK. I want to see things. So yeah, I'm maybe a bit of socializing that with everyone, but I definitely want to see as much as I can while I'm there.
Yeah, I like both. I mean, well, you're gonna have your family though, right? So I mean, you're gonna have social
Yeah.
stuff going on. That's kind of baked in. But like, I think I've gone on trips like alone, and if I don't plan ahead, I can see the sights, but I'm like seeing it alone, and I'm like, oh man, this sucks. Like,
Mm.
I need to like message ahead or something. Use
Yeah.
Tinder, anything. I just need to meet somebody at this place. You know,
Yeah.
I learned that the hard way when I went to New York. I was like alone for half the trip, and I'm like, oh man, I did not plan this out.
I am. You've flown overseas, right? You've taken trips in
Yeah,
your.
I've only
I
like 3 times.
my biggest concern is actually the process of my suitcase, making sure everything's packed properly. I have one suitcase and one carry on,
Mhm.
and the suitcase will be the checked baggage, of course, and it's what can go in what bag when you're on the plane and when you enter the country, like what I can bring in, what I can't. So it's I'm a little concerned on that aspect. So I've never done this before, so I've been going through
Yeah,
YouTube
just
videos and reading and reading and reading and trying to make sure everything's just right. So
yeah. I would say maybe don't try to like. I remember when I went. I've only been overseas 4 times ever.
mhm.
I mean, they're you know it's a big deal to go overseas, but like I remember when I went to Japan. I packed my bag like just right. Like I remember shoving all my stuff in my bag, and I'm like, man, if this, I hope they don't check it too hard. And
Oh,
when I entered that country, they tore that bag up. They're opening everything. Like they're
is that right? Eh?
yeah. When I went to Japan, that was insane. And I was like, damn, how am I getting all this shit back in there? Like I barely got
Because
that in.
I'm taking a few gifts um, for them. So like I one of them wanted Tim
Weed.
Hortons. So I'm taking
Oh,
a couple of jars of Tim Hortons instant coffee
oh
and a
yeah, that's
couple of
yeah.
boxes of like Canadian KD craft dinner because he really
What's
wants to
craft
try it.
dinner? What's craft dinner?
Oh, mac and cheese.
Okay, I mean it's not cooked, right? I don't think they'll be.
Yeah, it's dry. Everything's dry. The coffee's dry and
Yeah.
instant. So as long as, but it's going to tear the bag apart. Like the jars are glass. So I'm like, I'm just a bit
Oh
nervous.
man, they did not. They took a jar of olives away from me once, but that was within the U.S. That wasn't overseas. I don't know why.
Oh,
They
really? I know there's an issue with liquids. Apparently, if it's liquid, it's something else.
oh
I
yeah,
don't know. And if it's in your,
that must be it. You're
yeah,
right. The
if
liquid in the
it's your
olives.
carry-on,
It's probably easier.
I know if it's your carry-on bag, you can't have over 100 milliliters.
Of like
So they
liquid.
recommend putting it all in your suitcase. So
Yeah, I guess just be cool with liquid and yeah,
well,
that should be good. Dried mac and cheese. That should be easy. Yeah,
yeah,
that should
yeah, that should be all right. The
that could be it for
coffee,
like a project.
like the coffee, I'm just a little concerned. I guess the mac and cheese should be okay. The coffee, I'm hoping so because the coffee is
I could see them taking that away, but you never know. It'll be fine. Probably
it's not
too.
liquid. It's dry instant coffee. So
Yeah, I've taken like. Then again, I guess I don't. I guess different countries have different stuff. When I went to Mexico lately, they don't give a crap. They don't care though. Mexico's a
oh
good
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
But I took a bunch of like Vitamix stuff. Like that could have been something
Mm.
else, you know. Like I took a bunch of powders. So I don't
Oh,
know.
all right. Oh,
Yeah, but it should be. They didn't take it from me. I'm saying I took it with me, like over there. I took a big old
right.
pharmacy with me. But yeah, it should be good. I wouldn't worry about that. I would only worry about liquid, I think. Oh my god. I remember on the way back to the US, it's funny because you sparked something. Because I went to Cancun with Vincent for his work in December. And on the way back, they made Vincent go through customs, you know where you check your stuff. They made him go through it 3 times because they found something. I guess one of the electronics was weird. I can't remember, something to do with the Nintendo Switch, and then they made him go back, make a line again, and he went through, and they found something else, and they made him go back again.
Oh, geez.
That was crazy. I don't know what that was about.
I've also got my camera I wanted to take with me in my check bag. So
I gotta.
suitcase. So I'm hoping
Yeah,
that
it should be
all
fun.
right.
I think it'll. I mean, you know, it's gonna be like 95% fine. I mean, the only other guy I know, we had a friend. Me and Vincent actually had a friend, not like a distant friend, and he actually flew out to London but he took his DJ equipment. I don't know what that looks like, but it looked like a lot of electronics. It looked odd. So he landed. They thought it was shady. Basically, he got like flagged. They basically didn't let him into the country, and they flew him back without him ever entering the UK at all. They flew him back.
Wow.
So that was a big. I mean, I still hear about that. That was a big deal. Like he flew all the way over there. They didn't give him a refund, nothing. You know, they just said no, you can't get into the country with all this DJ equipment. So he did go again though a year later, but he sent the equipment out first. He just flew, mailed it out there first, and then he picked it up.
Yeah. Apparently, I know. They've been told just like follow all the rules. Don't just answer the question straight. Don't make an issue about anything. And
oh yeah, that's easy. It's pretty easy. Yeah, they're trying to get a bunch of people through, right, really quick. So I mean, it's gonna be real simple. That's exciting though. Yeah, I'm excited for you. I'll ask you all about that on one of these things when you're back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. I don't know if I said this already. I'm definitely going to Sweden this year. I already kind of made it official because.
Oh wow! Okay.
My cousin lives out there, so I'm gonna go visit him out there in September-ish. Like 2 weeks.
I'm just gonna cheer up a bit. That's another country I said I'd love to see is Switzerland. I think. Yeah.
Well, wait. I mean Sweden. Did I say Sweden?
Oh, did you say Sweden? You might have. Sorry, Sweden. Still, that's even that. This would still be like. I would have said Denmark. I'd actually like to see.
I'd love to see Denmark too. That's close. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know if I'm gonna go. I just want to visit him and then see that area, and the Stockholm. Stockholm's pretty big. I didn't know how big it was. It's got the population of where I'm at now, of San Diego. I was surprised. So like, I don't know if I'm going to go there and maybe we see another country together, me and him, like next door. Cause I think Denmark's right there, isn't it? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know yet. I got to get all those plans fixed.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
But yeah. So what's new in art? This is an art thing.
Really, as far as stuff that I'm doing, there's nothing yet. I think because I feel like I've got this pressure to make sure everything's right for this trip. I haven't done a whole lot other than a couple of little jobs for a couple of people. Just some fun drawings I've done in Procreate and whatnot. I think I might have told you last time I got Fresco for the year because I heard so many things about Fresco. I decided to add that to the iPad. I really need it. But I've heard so many good things about it. I do like it. I think it's a really good program.
How much is it?
Really need it, but it was only, I think, Canadian. I think it was $12 for the year. So
okay. For the year. Okay, that's really cheap.
Yeah. Which is strange for Adobe, but it's I thought, okay, it's $12 a year. I can deal with that. So
did you see the new? Sorry about that. I interrupted.
Oh no, I was just going to finish saying it's not like Photoshop and that's like astronomically expensive.
Did you see the new iPad and the new Apple Pencil?
Yes, I was going to actually bring that up. I did see that announced. I don't know. I have some mixed thoughts about it.
Tell me.
They're expensive, that's for sure. Because whatever you see the price as, just in Canada, you're adding on an extra 25% onto that or more, 25 to 30%.
Right.
So it's expensive. I'm interested. Like I have an iPad Air, and I like it. I'm more than happy with it. I'm keeping this for now. I got it when it was new 2 years ago, and it's done me well. The only little downside is it burns through the battery really fast. But other than that, I really love it. But the only thing that intrigues me is that the iPad Air now comes in a larger size. It comes in the 13-inch, and I thought that would really be nice to have that extra drawing space.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, the Pros are outrageously expensive. I wouldn't get the Pro. They're so off the charts. I wouldn't bother with.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna wait till it gets. I don't know what iPad I have actually. I have it right. I have to look at the version of it. I remember when I got it. I got the oldest one that could handle Procreate on purpose.
Okay, all right,
yeah. So I'm probably gonna stick with it for a while. If I upgrade. I don't know. If I upgrade, I might just go up a step or two. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna go
Yeah.
all the way to this. How much is it? Like, I didn't even see the prices on the announcements, but it's probably a lot of money, obviously. Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably not gonna upgrade for a while. I mean, I'm intrigued with the pencil stuff. I'm very intrigued by like the twisting stuff
Yeah.
and the haptics thing, whatever the heck. You can feel it like move and.
There's something now with the new Apple Pencil 3. I have to look into it a bit more. Where you can squeeze it and it'll
Yeah.
give you more options.
It's only compatible with the new iPad, though, right? It's only compatible with the new one, though, right?
I believe so. Yes, it's compatible with the new models, the new Air and the new Pros. So
okay, yeah, that's what I mean. So it's probably gonna be a while till I'd have to upgrade all the way then, if I decide to get anywhere in the next 2 years or 3 years or whatever. Oh God.
Oh, we got Corey Kerr in the chats here. How you doing, Corey?
Corey.
He says he got an iPad Pro through work. I kind of burnt out the iPad. Sorry, I kind of burnt out on the iPad because of how much I hate the wobbly diagonal lines. I know, I know a lot of tablets. Some have better pens than others and can make straighter lines. So I've never actually tested that out on the iPad to see how straight the lines are. But I'm very wobbly artist anyways to begin with, so I probably wouldn't notice much of a difference. But
what does he mean by wobbly lines? I'm not sure.
Wobbly, he says, how much I hate the wobbly diagonal lines.
Diagonal lines.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that means.
I know, depending on the tab, like I have an XP pen, and depending on if you get, the better the model of your display tablet, the nicer the lines. So, battery operated styluses wobble on diagonal drawing lines. Oh, all right, okay. So I take it's not really the Apple Pencil.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like that. My Apple Pencil, I guess, uses charges, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, he needs Wacom XP pen. Oh,
Wacom XPs don't have the wobble. Oh, all right. Okay.
Interesting.
All right. Yeah.
Nice.
I know when it comes to, if you really want to get fussy about the tablet, some of them make cleaner lines and others. Like Wacom's really good. Wacom, you can get nice clean lines, where XP Pen can leave a little bit of a wiggle, a little bit apparently, but I don't know. I think, I don't know. I have the XP Pen and it's been fine for me what I'm doing. So, but.
Yeah, I barely touch my other. I pretty much draw everything on the iPad. Pretty much, it's rare that I use Photoshop anymore for that.
Yeah, I'm more on the iPad now than I'm on the XP Pen, but I'd like to go back to the XP Pen. Probably when I come back, I'm going to spend more time on the desktop glass tablet.
I have a companion, as we call it, like an Intuos companion. It's like small, but it's not that small. Like I can't just lean back with it in my hand like this.
All right.
It's good, and it gets super hot. So like if I upgraded my hardware, maybe. But
is it a drawing display, or is it like one of those black flat tablets where you look at the monitor?
I can show it. Let me see. I'm gonna have it. We're sitting right here. How do I do this? Boom, boom. 1 second. Ugh.
I used.
I don't know if you can see it.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
It's like a whole computer, though. It's like a whole computer in that thing. It's not like.
All right. Okay.
But and it was great for a while. It just kind of starts to get really hot, like on surfaces.
I can do that.
Yeah, and it's just not convenient for me. So that's why I have the iPad. So I'm like addicted to the iPad pretty much.
Yeah. Do you know, for years I used a Wacom Intuos, which is the just the flat black pad, and then you look at it on the monitor. But I just could never develop the hand-eye coordination. It drove me crazy that no matter how hard I tried in practice with it, when trying to draw it down here while looking at it on the monitor just never worked. It was great, though, if I had done a drawing physically by hand with ink, and then I scanned it in, and I could go back in and I could clean up some little mistakes with it, and I could fix it up and That way actually was really good. But man, to try and draw on it and look, I couldn't do it. I need to see where the actual pen or pencil connects to the surface, and because of that, that's why I eventually ended up getting a glass tablet.
That's interesting. Yeah, I did end up getting used to it. I think after a couple of years, like I just keep using it.
I'm kind of envious. Most people I talk to do. A lot of people talk about the fact they can do that. And there's the one artist that I talked to sometimes, Joshua Kemble. He still uses one, and I don't know how. I'm like, damn, I can't do it. But
I see, for me, like I was doing all the tricks, like what's it say? Interesting.
Yeah, same thing, Corey. I was just thinking the same thing. Josh can draw on the Intuos. I tried for years and never could with the hand-eye disconnect. Yeah.
I used to not like that there wasn't a texture to it, and then I got used to that. Like it felt slippery when on anything, whether it be the handheld or the even iPad. But I got used to that over time too.
The first tablet I got, which I kind of regret selling because I had a nice 22-inch XP pen. I think it was XP Pen Pro, but it was an older model. And it was smooth glass. And it was like, took me a while to get used to it. But after a little while, I found that it was forcing me to be tighter with my line and to be a little more purposeful with my line as I'm putting it down. And I learned to work with that glass. I ended up actually kind of liking it in the end. So... But these new ones, the ones I've got here, has a slight texture to it. But.
Yeah. I guess it just takes like a lot of time or something for some. Like some people it takes more time than others. Because I mean, after then I was like, thinking of like drawing mistakes on my shit. I was like, okay, now I can think about the drawing problems. But no, that's good. What's it called? Did you see that Kickstarter we're doing?
Oh, I keep meaning to actually look a little more into that, and I keep forgetting about it. So what's the deal with that?
So that was the one I think I talked about here last time. I was doing it's it's an anthology. There's 8 artists, and like I remember it's funny too because she was telling everybody the deadline, and they moved the deadline back from March to May because a lot of people didn't finish their stuff, and then. I was like, man, even me, I was like, kind of like, I don't know why I was really lazy about it. And then it kind of came to the point where she's like, all right, we have to do this. I'm going to put it up in a day. And it's like, oh no, it's real now. Like we really have to finish our shit now. I was even kind of like, it's funny. I was even slightly avoiding her calls for a little bit because she's like a regular friend of mine, the girl running it. But I was like kind of avoiding her just because I knew she would talk about it. Like, hey, where you at? Let me see where you're at. Yeah, like it's a group. They've done it like for I want to say 6 years every year. I mean, except for the COVID years. So, but they've had 6 other Kickstarters from what I know, and they've made every Kickstarter. Every single one has gone through. So like, because their goal is always modest, like 3,000 or I think it's 3,500 this time. And like, because if you have like 8 or 9 artists, right, they're gonna know their friends of friends are all whatever the heck So there's gonna be enough people that buy enough of it to print it out. And this I always said no in the past because I'm like I don't know how to do comic art, even if it's a short story. I'm like I don't know, but. I said yes this time just because it felt like a challenge to me. Like, there's no money in it or anything like that.
Pretty good at it, actually.
It's more like I'm turning this way and then they turn that way, and it's like, oh wait, what? It's story beats and all this and stuff. I had to read so much stuff about things I didn't. There's basically stuff because I was more into illustration and concept art. So like there's so many things about comic art I've been reading, and I'm like, okay, I just gotta use some of this and put out something at least okay inside the book, which I'm not done yet. But I drew the whole thing with my iPad, and I guess there's a limit on the resolution.
Really, on the resolution?
Yeah, at least on my iPad. I think that might have to do with the data on here. Like there's. Like the resolution is good, but when I move it over, basically I'm drawing every drawing separately and piecing it together though in the comic format on Photoshop. So
all right.
Sometimes when I move it over, the resolution's a little like, that's a little odd. This is a little foggier than that. Like,
I know there's a setting on it on. I'd have to look into it again. I know there's a setting where it can. It's got
you can export
3 different ones. Got funny names for it. I have to look into that.
You can export it as a PSD, but
right.
Slapping it together, it wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't working. And then sometimes it would just kind of like. My iPad sucks, by the way. Sometimes it would just have an error when it was exporting it as a PSD, and I was like, okay, this is not.
When you make a new page, do you set up your like do you have a default that you use, or do you when you set up?
I set it up. I just tried to max out everything, but I tried to max out everything like on DPI and the measurements and I don't know why it was doing that. Anyways, that's in the past now because I already got it all slapped in there. I'm using Photoshop to draw on all the edges, to make the lines make sense. And then I have to decide whether I'm going to color it or not, if it's going to be just black and white because I don't have any time, or if I'm going to take a shot at like simple coloring or maybe like a grayscale. Or the easiest part, I think I said it last time too. Mine has no dialogue. That's the only reason I agreed to it, is because it's about dinosaurs and stuff like that. So like there's, dinosaurs don't talk. So like I have dinosaur comics. So it's just one of those stories. I am going to try to paint the cover though, because I had to put the cover out and I feel like it's unfinished, but I'm going to try to paint the cover before the end of the month.
Nice. I'd like to see that.
Yeah. And then the comic, I think it's doing good. The Kickstarter is like I think 2,200? 2,400? I can't remember. Out of 3,500, and then we got like 18 days left or something. So we got a while.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to open up. Just going to open this up on YouTube so I can see any chats coming through sooner, because I seem to be a little bit delayed actually on the live streaming. But I'm going to open this up here. Just might get some feedback for a second. There we go.
Sweet.
That's better. Now I can see on actual YouTube. All right. That way I can see it.
And
hello, Junebug.
Hi, Junebug. I gotta get Vince back on this thing. Like he's officially in Chicago for 3 weeks. He's been living there. He just unpacked all this crap. He has no pictures up. I talked to him yesterday. He's got no pictures up on the wall, and they're dumping a lot of work on him because he's got the same job, but now it's physical. He's kind of like a boss now there, so they're gonna throw all this stuff at him the first few years.
Yeah.
But
he's moved there permanently then, has he, for work? Or?
Yeah, indefinitely. He's there indefinitely now. Better than Alabama, I'm sure. But so that sounds good. I'm gonna see him. We're gonna go to Austin. Me, him, and a couple of friends of ours at the end of the month for about a weekend. So I'll be seeing him in person like 15 days or something.
Yeah. Oh, good.
But yeah. Wait.
It's interesting how you guys live so far apart, but you still see each other quite frequently.
Yeah, I mean, he was living out here for the first. Let me see, from 21 to I think when he was 28, he moved. So we were in person for like 6 years. So and we were constantly hanging out. At the beginning, oh my god, it was like I would see that guy like twice, 3 times a week, all the time. It was constant. But I'm really good at keeping in touch. That's the one thing everybody tells me about, is I'm really good at just I have like a silent alarm that goes off in my head, and I'm like, oh, I haven't talked to this person in a while. I should say hi.
Yeah.
Because I have another friend too. I have a lot of friends that live far away, but one of my best friends lives in Miami, and we talk almost every day. But yeah. How about you, art project wise? Like, you should do one too, by the way, like some form of a Kickstarter or something.
Oh, I've always got stuff kind of in the back of my head. I'm just when I'm back from this trip, I really need to sit down and just brainstorm a little bit on what I need to spend time on working on here in my life, because there's a lot of, I don't know, there's I've got a few issues here that I'm trying to deal with
Oh.
in this department, and it's
Mm.
stuff I don't want to. I've talked about a lot of it before. There's issues with certain kinds of issues with the roommate and space
okay.
wise in the apartment and things that's just going on that is making things a little bit difficult to do what I'd like to in here. So,
yeah, that's tough. Yeah, that's really, really tough. Yeah, like, throw yourself into watch the maybe throw yourself into art or movies or as an escape.
yeah, I'll tell you what, I can always tell you a bit about the situation after. I just feel like I shouldn't go into details on live, but I'll
yeah, no problem.
I'll talk about it another time.
Yeah, no problem.
But,
but what are some stuff you want to do other than I think you mentioned one thing, right, with the YouTube channel, but like, is there anything else that you want to like? Is it like comic or something like that, or I don't know.
I've got there was the YouTube channel I wanted to work on. I had that Saturday afternoon show in mind that I really wanted to do. I also wanted to do more with Art Block. Like I really wanted to bring people on here and talk to people on this, and I talked to some people who are very willing and happy to come on and do the show. So that's got to become a regular thing, but I need things to fall into place first. Besides that, though, I really wanted to experiment with Procreate Dreams, the animation software.
What is that? What does that involve again? I forgot.
That's Procreate's animation program.
Oh, okay.
It's incredible. It's amazing. It's still in early stages, but I see some really kind of incredible things with that coming eventually. So that's
is that in beta or is that beta tested?
Oh no, it's officially released now. Yeah.
Oh wow. How much is it?
I want to say. I'll have to have a look. I want to say for Americans, 20. I think.
Okay.
It's not terribly expensive. It's fairly cheap, but boy, it's you can do full traditional frame by frame animation with it. You can put in like your keys, your in betweens. Aaron Blaze did a whole incredible short film with it, with like music, everything, the whole works, all edited and put together. It's like a little bit of editing software too. He did the whole thing right in Procreate Dreams.
How different is that from the? How different is? I'm assuming it's way different, but like, have you ever used the, that like very simple animation thing that Procreate already has on it?
I did. I played around a little bit with that. I've done some simple little things like a bouncing ball and maybe some character walking or something like that. Just something really simple because you only have a limited amount of time with it. You can't really do much with it, but the Dreams though is just blows that out of the water. It's yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go check that out afterward, though. Yeah, because I follow Aaron Blaze, so I'm like, I gotta check that out.
It's a little clip of, I think, about a penguin that wants to fly, and he if you look for his Procreate short, and he did the whole he does a whole sort of mini class on how to use Procreate, and I think he still has it for like $1 or $2, something like that. I think so. He's
the class. You mean? Is it
like a whole how-to video thing that he put together on how to use Procreate or Procreate Dreams rather? So
yeah, we'll see. I might check that out. Like, yeah, I'll definitely check out his short film. I don't know if I'm gonna jump into Dream but
it can be time consuming, and you have to know. I mean, if you actually really want to animate, I don't know if it's necessarily. I still like animation. That's where my background. So, I really want to. I really want to kind of do a little bit with that, and I have some. I don't know. I have some ideas I'm kicking around in my head that I'm not sure which direction to go with it yet, but because. I had that idea that I've for years and years and years the Star Tales thing that I wanted to do, but everybody's told me to do it as a comic, but I never visualized it as a comic in my head. It's always been something.
Like you could easily do it as a. Well, not. I mean, it could be. How long do you want it to be? Is it going to be like?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I could never do the whole thing myself by myself, but it would be nice to do some little snippets and clips here and there, just for fun.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what we're going to do with it, though.
I'm put it on YouTube. Like that's, I mean, really, all I can do is try to find an audience for it. Really.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think because I never knew any. I never hung out with animation people at school because I was more we were more like the concept art illustration people. And then
Right.
animation felt like a whole. That was more like Cal Arts. When I went to arts, I was more at Art Center, where that was more like concept art, video game.
Right.
But interesting. Yeah, trying to get. I'm trying to get a lot more done. Another thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to pump out way more YouTube videos, like, because I'm trying to build up a second channel, for money.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I can pump those out. I'm trying to see if I can do.
You've always pumped those out. You've been pumping those out. These simple little ink drawings that you've been doing for years and years. So
Yeah. The thing is, I'm getting a lot faster at stuff. I noticed. So I'm getting a lot faster, and it's like I'm trying to take advantage of that now. I'm getting quicker, and I can do more complicated stuff. Again, it's complicated for YouTube, so I'm not double checking everything. The drawings are just whatever, but they're not like they're not like god awful. Like back in the day, I was like, I don't know. I just care a lot less now. I think that's why. And I'm just like, oh, okay, I can do this now. All right, I can. So I'm just trying to. I used to have a bunch of channels, and I spread myself thin. But I'm trying to time myself. It's more about that. Like if I can get 10 videos done in one day and edit them and put them up and have all the.
One day. Good Lord, I want your secrets.
Well, it's just the same thing though. I'm not like. Throwing a lot. I'm not pumping personality into it. I'm just kind of like going like, here's Godzilla's head, or whatever. And then on the second channel, I'm not going to talk, and then I'm just going to put music in the background because I've seen so many channels that do something very like just I'm going to draw this, and then I look at it and it's just they're not teaching at all. It's just music.
Well, this was when you said you were getting faster at it, and I thought at the same time you're kind of doing a demo too. That I think people are supposed to follow along with, right? The kids.
I guess so. Ideally, like how slow I draw would reflect that. I'm just mostly that's. I'm just trying to figure out like what my brain can handle so that I can do other things because I'm still trying to work on the blog for the website. Mm-hmm. I did another article for that, but I'd like to get 2 articles out a month and just kind of like, so whatever I do, I want to be able to put it on autopilot in my brain. So
what's the
initial YouTube channel I have, the one that I make most of the money on, which is Easy Pictures to Draw. That's the one I make the most of the money on. That's already on autopilot. I literally do all those drawings very quickly without thinking anymore. I have the file already set up where I edit it. I just place all the files. I have a separate computer that's only for rendering that I have on the side of me over here, and it renders. And then while it's rendering, it takes maybe a few hours to render, and I'm doing something else. And then I go back. Okay, cool. Upload everything at once. Change all of the descriptions. Most of the descriptions are copy and pasted already from stuff I have. And then I just change them around a tiny bit. Everything's systematized. Like I literally don't even think about all the videos through the week. And then when I start a new channel, it's like I'm trying to think again. I'm like, oh shit, I have to think. What do I want this to be? Okay. And I'm thinking, and then I'm like, okay, now I have a system for this. Like I develop another system, and then I try to see how short an amount of time I can do that in, so that these things. So I have time to do something else. I guess I don't know if any of that made sense.
Yeah.
So I got that. I'm posting on Facebook still because I'm still trying to make that work. It's just the same videos, but I re-edit them a little bit. And I'm starting to be doing that on autopilot. I'm just trying not to burn out because most of it's kind of what's going on. Not to sound like a self-help weirdo, but I am. And most of it's kind of what's going on in your head, right? Like how painful is this thing to do or not? If it's easy, I can just kind of do more of it, and then I can maybe have time to get creative with it if I want. But for something that you want to do, that's gonna be tough, I think, truthfully, because you're gonna have to really. I'm assuming every step of that's gonna be.
I'm just more playing around with it right now, but
yeah, it could be fun too.
I have to. I'm getting older. I only have so much time left on this earth, so I have to figure out what I'm gonna do while I can still do it.
I'm trying to see, because like every bit of time. So I got those 2 things. That's the whole week. Then I'm like, okay, I got the Facebook videos. All right. And now I got to figure out how to make that work. But then on the side of that, I want to do blogs. I have to think about that blog when I type into it. So that one it requires real brain power, and I'm trying to like enjoy it because there's no way around it. I have to kind of write it. I could pay someone to write it, but I know what I want to write. It's better to paste. I have a friend that edits them who was an editor, so that I have to write it, And so, how many tasks can I get done and not burn out and not feel like I'm pushing myself? I'm trying to be like, okay,
that's a trick.
Yeah, this is enjoyable. Like, I like this. I want to do this. What am I doing? I want to do this.
Exactly.
I stopped making Skillshare videos because I told you they gave me a warning on it. Did we talk about that?
Oh, kind of. Yeah, I didn't know you had stopped though.
Yeah. Okay. So I got 2 warnings. Recap. I think I said it a few months ago, but I got a warning on there because one of the audio was low on one of the videos that I posted, and they said change it. I did. I had the file. Boom. Changed the audio on it a little bit. I think like I raised the volume or something because it was too mushy on one video, and I did, and it worked. And then again, another one came in. Basically, I had these 2 or 3 warnings, and I fixed them immediately. They're like, that's cool. But those warnings apparently still count. So like, if I forget 4 warnings or 3 warnings, can't remember. Yeah. Within 6 months, they will take all my videos down. So I can't get any.
I thought about Skillshare for the longest time, and as the more and more negative crap I'm hearing about them, the more it's turned me off. And I'm like, you know what? It's not
maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. My videos are there still, and I still get like $1,500. Like at like $300 to $400 still, without touching it. But I wanted to like scale it. I wanted to keep putting more videos every week. So if basically I'm waiting 6 months or 7 months, and then I'm gonna start posting again, so that I guess it cleans your slate every 6 months.
Okay.
So I didn't put video. So I don't do that. I'd like to put on that. I might go. There's an old YouTube channel I have called Sketch Monster for my Instagram. I would love to post edited videos that I like on there, like actual edited, because I know like post one video every like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, of like, let's go. I don't know how to say it, but like those channels, they do pretty well because you can actually get sponsors if you're really talking to the camera and really, with some decent editing. Okay. Yeah, because those you can just make up the whole. You can get like a payment of like 2 or 3K just on sponsors a month, on something like that. But I haven't had a chance. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to jump into that. I would like to do, like, try editing, like like a good video that I would like. And then
I got to tell you one little funny story that happened over the course of the last 3 weeks. So on TikTok, which I'm not really a big fan of, but I go on there once in a while to watch a few certain people. But I can now go live.
Oh, really?
And by a random fluke. I did a little video that's not even art related. It's more sort of Gen X related. I every once in a while I'll post something funny or respond to somebody. And there was a young guy who's, I don't know, he's either millennial or Gen Z. I don't know what he falls into. But he says, I got a question for Gen X. And he started rambling and rambling and rambling. And I was just like, to get to the answer to this. So I just, for fun, and I don't, he hasn't responded to it. I don't know if he took any offense to it or not. I'm hoping not, but he's never responded or said anything. I just did a response where as he's talking, I'm sitting there just like bored. And then finally I look at the camera and I click it off and go, God, you take forever. This is a nice day out. Go outside, drink out of the hose. And this video currently sits at about 200,000, 250,000 views.
That's really good. That's really good.
I suddenly doubled my subscription, my number of subscribers or followers or whatever.
What do you have right now? Like 2,000 followers?
I'm probably here. I can find out. it keeps adding as hours go by. It keeps adding. Look, I'm more notice. I'm probably almost at 1,000 now, but they gave it to me. I thought you had to be over 1,000, but as
I thought so too, actually.
I
Yeah.
crossed 750, they gave it to me, and
maybe it has to do with engagement.
it might be. It may be, because let me see where I'm at. Yeah, I'm at 971 now. So
it might be one or the other. Like YouTube does that too. I think it's like you have to have a certain amount of hours watched,
right.
And whatever, and or followers. So maybe that's good. So what are you gonna do in the live? We should have done that there.
So what I'm looking into, what I've seen a few people do it. Yeah, we'll arrange something, because yeah, actually we could, because yeah, we can do, because you're on, you can do live now. What I'd like to do is, apparently TikTok has a desktop version, and oh god, what I use here with Talk, Streamlabs. Is something that you can set up to stream through the desktop and through to TikTok. So I can have a split screen effect. So I can have two cameras. I can have something like this. I can be drawing. Like they could use it for gamers, basically, right? But artists can do it so that they can draw and look at the camera at the same time, and so that people can see them. He has that physical engagement with their face, and then at the bottom half of the screen you can see what they're doing. And there's a few people doing that, and I thought, wow, if you can do that, because I know TikTok gets a lot of viewers. Like I'm not a big huge fan of TikTok, but I'll get more engagement on that than I probably will on YouTube. But if I can do something there and get people to come over to YouTube, I'd love to do that. But because there's no real big return on TikTok unless you're like super popular, and if you're American, because the what do they call their creator fund? That's only for US and China. So as a Canadian, we're SOL on that, right? Like I wouldn't get a square cent for anything. So, which sucks.
I didn't know that.
They've been pushing and pushing and pushing to start spreading that, to start getting more people on that. So, but they're not budging, and who knows what's going to happen to TikTok over the next year. Apparently it might not even be in the US. I don't know. But while it's still sitting there, I thought at least it might be fun to maybe do a little bit on that.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
But if you want one night, sure, we'll go live or something one night together on.
Yeah. Let me know that. Like just reach out to me, see if I'm available. I'd be down to try that. That'd be weird. I've never gone live with anybody, have I? Else? I've only done it as a joke.
Yet.
What's that?
I haven't even tried the live feature yet. I have it, but I haven't gone live yet.
Yeah, I think I've only done it as a joke, right, with people at parties and shit. But I did it once. The first time you go on there, though, I think it'll go up really high initially, maybe because I did it once in my car. That was the first time I tried it. I turned it on, and then it goes up really fast to like 1,000 something people, and I got freaked out. And I turned it off because I was like, I don't have anything to show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But then I tried
I've appealed to Gen X TikTok now. There's this whole thing about Gen Xers on TikTok doing stuff, and somehow I've now landed in that crowd. So
that's cool. Yeah, that's really neat. And then sometimes I'll go on there, and then it'll be like 2 people. I think I tried drawing on there once, and it went from like 7 to like 1 person, which is me. So like, it just I don't know. It feels very random. I know you can go back and forth, and I don't think I watch artist streams, right? Do you watch artist lives on there other than I think you told me one.
I don't watch them for that long. Not on TikTok anyways. No, I know there's a couple on there. Well, Chris Sava art, sometimes I watch him on TikTok or on YouTube. I watch him for a little bit. Not for very long. There's a couple of really interesting people on there. I've watched a little bit of this stuff. There's one young guy who does these really fun cartoons. He puts the color down first with Copic markers, and then does like a really quick ink outline to make these really, really fun little doodles. They're really cute.
That's cool.
But he's really good, actually. But other than that, like I've watched, but I can only watch for like about a little bit of time, and then I got other things to do, right? I can't stay with it that long.
Yeah, same. Yeah, yeah. I'm not on there that much, to be honest. Hardly ever, actually, anymore. I should go on there more. Well, should I go on there? I don't know. I just, I'm just,
You
I
can
don't know.
fall into the you do get the creator fund if they decide to pay out. You fall. You're an American, so you'll
I
get
heard
it.
the creator, I heard the creator fund's really terrible though on that
It's not
compared to
great,
other ones.
unless you're really popular and you're like putting out videos like 8 times a day, and you're really popular and you have lots of engagement. You have like 5 million followers. That's about the only
Mhm.
way you can actually really get
Yeah,
some decent
yeah.
return on it. And some do, but you
Mm.
probably get better payout through YouTube if you get.
Yeah,
I want to use it to draw people to my YouTube and my Instagram. That's where I want to.
it's a great idea. I think we mentioned I had a friend who made like $2,000 in like 2 weeks on TikTok, and
All
because
right.
of because she's a girl, but like they because the real money, at least for her, was like when you do a live and people tip you, they'll send those roses or they'll
Oh,
send
right.
those.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's that's
And
how she made it.
I don't even know how that works. Like, does that go out for everybody, or is that part of the creator fund that only goes to Americans? I
I
even thought that was just for something to use on TikTok. I thought it was just like
I thought so.
TikTok money kind of thing.
Oh no, you can trade it. You can cash them out. I don't know
Oh,
what it's like in Canada though, because maybe you're right. But this girl I knew, she lived in like the U.S., so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know honestly. I don't think there's a requirement to have them, but maybe there's a requirement to cash them out. You'd have to like Google it.
yeah, I'd look into that. I don't know how
Yeah, that'd be
all that works.
interesting.
I mean, it'd be nice to just, as I said, to just generate some interest, send people to my YouTube. If I can start making merch, that'd be nice. To maybe I could, hey,
Yeah,
buy art on T-shirts or something. I don't know.
you can sell merch on there though, right?
I think so. I think I can. Again, I'm
I'll run
not too
across.
sure. I think you have
Yeah,
to be
because
at
I'll
a
run
certain
across.
level, but I don't know.
Oh, really? Okay, because I run across a lot of channels where they're like showing like here's some protein powder, and it's just like a little thing spinning. It's like literally like an infomercial.
Right. Yeah.
See a lot of those. So yeah, people got to be selling. That must be.
Sure.
Yeah. No, that'd be great. So I'm glad you can go live now. At least I've gone live just to like ramble. I think, like I said, also I've gone to other lives for like a second just because I was bored. Yeah. I'll just talk to people just about whatever random thing and nothing controversial, but just something like let's talk about this. Okay, and I've talked a little bit, not like a lot.
The only couple of times I've seen you go live, one time you weren't even on there. You handed the phone, I guess, to somebody else, and
that was a party.
Talking, and you were that's the only time I remember that.
Yeah, I think that was like twice. It was at parties. I think I just like, here, let's go live, and everybody has like a fun because it's one guy got being banned because he said you've seen those tricks, right, where somebody writes to whoever's on live a sentence, but there's secretly like a bad word in it.
Oh,
have you seen that?
I haven't seen that one. That's
yeah. So somebody wrote it out. And then because like when you see comments come in, you kind of read them out loud, like, oh, okay. And then somebody at that party read it out loud, and I guess it was like a trick on him, but I guess it just auto detects it, and it auto banned me for like a few weeks. But because I appealed it, and they're like, yeah, it's fine. But I'm still like shut out. But it's like a trick. They were doing it throughout TikTok. Literally, like they write a sentence and there's secretly a racist thing in the middle of it, and you don't know it until you're like reading out loud.
Yeah, geez, you gotta be careful with that. Yeah.
In all fairness, I haven't seen that lately, but it was like everywhere.
Well, I noticed that actually TikTok cut off his live for lack of activity. He was sitting there chatting while he was apparently repairing a costume. And because he wasn't doing anything, just sitting there kind of looking up, chatting, and there was, I guess, some periods of blank. Like he didn't have a lot of people watching him, and I guess there was too many periods of dead air where he's not talking and not engaging with anyone. And TikTok cut his live off.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of people on there just kind of talk a little to the camera, and I mean, he must have
Right.
been doing nothing. It must have looked like he was doing nothing, right? He's just looking down and maybe.
That's what he even said, because he posted up a video afterwards saying, like, I was repairing my costume, like I'm sitting there fixing it, but nobody was saying much in the chat, and he wasn't speaking that much, so there was too much dead air, I think, because he was just sitting there fixing this thing, and they went,
"He could do something."
"Nope."
Yeah, he's gonna move or say something.
Say something, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, say anything.
Mhm.
What's the point of being on live? But I didn't know. That must have been something automatically detecting that. Like, it's just, you know what? That kind of makes sense. Like an idle, when like a video game goes idle, that kind of makes sense. So there's just like no activity, and it just that kind of makes sense to me now.
I guess, yeah. Maybe that's what it was, but doesn't count as a strike or anything like that, or they don't count anything against you, but they just was like a lack of engagement, we're cutting off. I guess you can't just sit there with your camera blank for too long or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I've like trying to think. I knew another person who was not a friend of mine. She's like an acquaintance, and she went on there every single day for like a year, because sometimes she'd go on to like 5 viewers, but then I think because momentum's a big part of this, so like I think at the 3rd month, I was like, because for a while I was like, wow, this person's not getting anything, like nothing, like no views. And then the 3rd month, it was constantly like at least a few hundred, and then it was kind of going up from there. I don't know if she's doing it anymore, to be honest. I think she had to quit because she started some other grad school or something. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited if you get banned or not.
We'll see what happens if because say one wrong little thing, like that's
Yeah, they're pretty picky. They
really are.
Picky. Yeah, so I don't know. Did you did you see I just saw that Unfrosted movie. I didn't really like it though. Did you see that?
Unfrosted?
Yeah, it's a Jerry Seinfeld movie. He went to Netflix.
I'm not a big Jerry Seinfeld fan myself.
Oh, okay. I'm a huge Jerry Seinfeld
Oh, are you? All right.
Yeah, because he's trying to make a movie that's similar to like Blazing Saddles or something like that. That's why I'm kind of like, this reminds me of something Phil would watch.
No, I didn't even hear.
Anyways, yeah. No, it's fine. What's it called?
You thought of me.
Yeah. I just thought about that. But God, did you see any other works of art or anything? You see anything art related? Maybe a museum or something?
Museum? No, to be honest with you, I haven't been out in a while. Yeah, I wish I had something interesting to tell you that way, but I really haven't. I just between work and covering shifts typically, and which I'm doing all this week, and just
that's okay.
Life in general, my friend Steve comes down and we go out and we'll grab a flick or something. We went and just saw Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes the other night.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna see it with my sister in a few days, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Like I know the reviews have been
pretty good. I think it's like 80.
Not as good as the other 3, but I really liked it. Like I thought it was as good as fits right in with the other 3.
Yeah, I think it's got like an 80% or something right there on.
Yeah.
That's like a pretty good. And then
I would give it like about an 8.5, 9 out of 10.
Okay, yeah, because I've heard. I have like select critics that I watch that like even if I don't like it, I'm sorry, even if they don't like it, they give a reason why, and they have a similar. I don't know, like if they say they hate it for this reason, I'm like, oh, I love that. Like I know what I'm getting, kind of, whether they like it or not.
Yeah.
And I've heard I'll probably like this movie from everything I'm hearing from the people that I know that have a similar taste to me. But yeah, we're gonna. I gotta rewatch the old ones though. I think I'm gonna start rewatching probably like the number 1.
Before I went to see it, I had to finish watching the rest of War of the Planet of the Apes, because I hadn't seen the last half of it. So I went back, rewatched War of the Planet of the Apes, rewatched the original Planet of the Apes.
The 60s one?
Saw 1968 film, just because it's been so many years since I watched it. So I watched that, went and saw Kingdom, thought, okay, I should refresh you on a couple of the other ones. I did watch Battle of the Planet of the Apes, Beneath the Planet of the Apes, which was the first sequel to Planet that was from 1970. It was awful. That was terrible. Oh my! They had no idea what to do with that script. Like they just and it just ended on this weird. And I got about halfway through the one after that, and it's better, but it just I don't know. There's like some weird logistical things. I'm thinking, what? So yeah. So I haven't. What was the second? Oh, Escape from the Planet of the Apes. I've seen about the first half of that one. I don't know if I'll watch the rest. But
yeah, I haven't seen the old ones from the '60s since I was a little kid. I think I only saw 2 of them, and then
I only saw 2 of them.
I think for this new one though, I'm probably just gonna watch the new trilogy, and then before it for this new one. And if I have time, I'll go back to the '60s ones. I'm trying to. I just finished Star Trek Lower Decks, that cartoon. Did you see that?
Yes, I love Lower Decks.
Yeah, yeah. I really liked it. I really liked it a lot.
I did too. I was expecting going to completely hate it, and even the first episode, I was thinking, and then as I kept watching, I'm like, this is really good.
Yeah, I got hooked on it. I don't know if I like it more than like all the live action stuff, to be honest. But I mean, I don't like it's not like my favorite or anything like that. I did like it though, because I don't know if I like connected with any character. You know what I mean?
It was just fun to watch. I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. It's.
I agree.
I couldn't get into Discovery. Like I gave up on Discovery after the first season, but the Picard series was so. I am enjoying. What's the one? The pre-Kirk. Strange New World.
Oh, Strange New Worlds. Yeah.
I really like Strange New Worlds. I think that's really good.
Wait, which one was Enterprise then? Was Enterprise the one with Scott Bakula?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I never saw that. I wasn't big on that one either.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like that one. I don't even think. I think my expectations were really low because I thought it was okay. I was just like, because I watched it way after, you know.
I didn't see all of it. I only saw bits and pieces of it.
Well, the final episode has, you know, I mean, have you seen the final episode or heard of it?
Oh, yes, we watched it because it was supposed to be like, it was all holodeck things.
Yeah.
Like that, yeah. Like, okay, maybe that's like.
No, but it was still worth it because they had the TNG, like some of the TNG cast in it. That's what I was like, oh, okay,
yeah, that's way too. It was all what happened on the holodeck in TNG.
Yeah, but they're still there. I mean, the actors are still there. I mean, you know, like it's fun to watch them. But I like Strange New Worlds. I haven't seen season 2. I'm probably gonna watch that pretty soon.
It's really good. There's a couple of back-to-back comedy episodes that kind of throw things off a little bit, where they get a little bit silly, but it's still worth watching.
Did you ever see? I'm just kind of off the Star Trek thing. Did you ever see Invincible? I just finished that show. It's a cartoon show. Season one. Okay. I just saw season 2. I really liked season 2. I was like really surprised how.
I started to watch it, and I just never had a chance to go back to it yet.
Yeah. It's like
so many things to watch and get through.
Yeah, I agree. I forgot how violent it was, but like season 2 is like gross violent. Like it looks like Mortal Kombat fatalities, violent.
Yeah, it was getting kind of really, really like violent for the sake of violence. I'm like,
well, the comic was pretty close to that. I don't know if you read the comic at all. Did you read the comic book of that or no?
No, I never did.
Oh, okay. The comic is pretty similar.
I didn't know there was a comic book until not long ago. Actually, I thought it was just something a series they made. I didn't know there was an.
Yeah, which is funny too, because Vince lent me that comic like way back in the day. I think it was like 2007 or something like that. He lent it to me. I was like, I remember that.
Yeah. I got a subscription to BritBox because I've always liked British television. I haven't even seen that much on it yet, but I got really hooked on this show called Vera.
Interesting.
Which probably nobody's heard of.
I've never heard of that.
It is a British show, but it's apparently is ran for 14 years. But it's in England, so like the episodes are 90 minutes, and there's only like 3 or 4 per season. But I went back and I watched like the first couple of first season actually, but it's from 14 years ago. But the series itself is actually just ending. Like this is the last season. It's 14th season wrapping up. But I went back and watched like the first one. It's really good. It's very intense. Like it's this. She's the actor Brenda Blethyn, I think her name is. She's I don't know what you call it, like an inspector or. She shows up and she can evaluate a crime scene, and she goes and interviews people and talks to people, and
Like a detective, or
like a detective, I guess. Yeah, but she works for like the police force though, and she has a team of people that works with her, and they're murder mysteries basically. But it's kind of dark and gritty, and it's not. And she kind of, as the series goes, you find out she has her own demons and that she deals with, and she's a really good actress. I mean, she's a really good actress, and
cool.
I got really hooked into it because I like that kind of thing. So
yeah.
But yeah, I got right hooked into it, and I've seen like I think I've seen the first 2 seasons now. Actually, I think I did finish the second season, or I have one to finish in it. But they're 90-minute episodes, so I've got to really be ready to like sit down and invest in this for like 90 minutes time to watch.
Yeah, sometimes go by pretty quick. I mean, it depends. Yeah. You know, I thought like I saw. Do you know Fallout is the video game or the?
I've heard of it.
I mean, because it just came out with a show, and I thought that was going to take me forever, but then I guess they told the story in a really good way because I was just like watching it all in 2 days, and I'm like, okay, like so because sometimes that's the biggest thing. I get kind of worried about the time commitment for starting any series because it's like, oh man, it's gonna take like I have to finish this in a week or what?
Yeah,
it's gonna be like work.
Excuse me, my throat's like.
Are you okay?
Yeah, this has been going on for like the last few weeks because I was sick a few weeks ago and I had a headache and the whole thing, and then at the very tail end of I noticed I was getting a really grovelly throat, and it's never completely went away. Like for some reason, every time I try to talk and have a conversation, it starts to like build up in my throat, and I need to keep like keep clearing my throat and getting water. It constantly does that, so I don't know what.
Oh, wow. This guy says he sent you a script. What is this?
Jim, I'm sorry, Jim. I meant to respond earlier. Shit. Just doing some writing and sent. I'll talk to him later about that. He's working on. It's a bit of a long story, but he's working on an idea for something animated. He wants to bounce off me, so nice. He did email it to me. But yeah, I'll have to. I got to write him back too. And I did get. If you're watching, I did get your email. I haven't had a chance to sit and kind of focus yet. So, but yeah, I'll.
Have you been any new AI art news or anything? Because I've been talking to a few people about that.
Nothing really new. I mean, most of the stuff it's nothing new on top of what we've talked about. I mean, I know that Meta has now incorporated it into their.
It's everywhere. Yeah, everywhere. Even on Instagram, right? Like right now, you could go in. Did you already? You know, it's like. You can use it. It's like because I was using Copilot for a while because I needed stuff, and then now it's just like literally it's just ingrained now into everything I use almost like without me having to download anything. I don't even really have to download.
I'm not overly impressed with it. I'm still kind of I don't know.
Same.
It still looks weird to me, and it's still every time you can kind of tell what's AI art, and I'm still like not overly impressed with it.
Yeah, I agree. I think the biggest one was the where I go to an Instagram, right, and I see something and I'm like, wow, that's really good. Who is that? And then I look at it and I'm like, crap, it's AI. Because it's because some people do it really well. I mean, it's funny. Mostly, it's usually other artists that do it really well. I've seen. I've kind of noticed that, but there's a great video, like an amazing video by there's a concept artist named Fang Zhu. He's like a machine or something. He's like so good. He's been in the industry for like years, and he came out with a I think he took a break for 2 years to travel the world or something, and he was on vacation for the most part. But he came back recently and started posting on his YouTube channel again. That was kind of dormant there for 2 years. And the first video was about what AI art can and cannot do, and he kind of goes through it in a really fine-tooth comb, and he picks out like really good AI art as well. He's not just cherry picking there. He's picking good stuff, and he's talking about exactly how you can get a job and not get a job within at least the movie field with it around. And great video. It's like 2 hours or something.
Is it?
He like lists it out.
What's his name again?
Fang Zhu. I think his website. Yeah, Fang Zhu. I think his channel is called Design Studio Cinema though. But
I'll write it down. I'll try and dig it up.
Yeah. I think it's Design Studio
on YouTube, right? You said?
On YouTube. Yeah, on YouTube. He'll just post the whole thing. But basically, like the short of it is that it still can't do geometry. So like if you want to like create fake tech in a robot, it's not, you know, and you need it to like do something, you know, like you're designing a transformer from scratch, not taking an old shitty design and, you know,
Right.
but if you're the inner work has to be designed also to kind of look like it works. It basically is really bad at that kind of stuff, like making shit work.
Okay. Yeah.
But
I've noticed that in some images where say there's like it's like say there's a cafe inside and it's like chairs arranged all over. If
Yeah.
you're not focusing on it, you know, your brain kind of goes, okay, this is a table and there's chairs around there all over the floor. But then as soon as you look at it, you realize the chairs are all melded together. It's got 5 legs on one and 3 on another, and they're not angled properly. And yeah.
Right.
So,
Because I guess what he was talking about, and again, I'm just taking his word for it, right? But he was just saying a lot of his jobs and a lot of his studio jobs are not going away at all. You know, like they haven't gone away at all. You can be saying that, but I think he probably means it because the stuff he was saying was true though. Because I've messed around with a lot of AI, you know, and it's, you know, the stuff I've seen, you know, it's not going to do that kind of stuff. But for illustration though, I don't know. I feel like illustration is cooked to be like just like a cover of a book.
Maybe eventually. I don't think it's quite there yet, but I do have a bad feeling eventually it will be. But I don't know.
Maybe eventually.
You have to put in the right prompts for what you want. You have to kind of tell it exactly what you want, and it's going to pump out a whole bunch of stuff. And it's usually like what I've tried to experiment with doesn't give me what I'm putting in. Like I punch something in and it gives me not at all what I'm trying to produce. And I'm like, so unless you can make like a really crude drawing and put it in and it somehow can take that drawing and do something with it. I don't know, but
it's funny because that does exist. The crude drawing thing. They have a kids program like that. That's like a goofy drawing and then you do it. And, but I wish there was better stats on it. Like I want to know who's adopting it. I feel like right now though, it's coexisting with stuff on Instagram, at least my feed. I don't know, maybe like it's not like my regular art is going away, you know, that I'm seeing, you know. So I feel like it is coexisting okay. But and I feel like the fad is over with normies using it like crazy. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. It's hard. I want to hear more stats like, hey, where is this being used, you know, or how many users does this have right now, or stuff like that. But yeah, there's an artist on YouTube that keeps making rage bait. Like he keeps making AI art is now dead. You know, have you seen those?
Oh, geez. No, I haven't seen that.
I can't remember because it'll give me a lot of hope. You know, is another artist, and then I'll watch the video and I appreciate him trying to make me feel better, but like he doesn't know what he's talking about. Like he's definitely giving me the answers I want, but the way he's getting there is so stupid. It's like, man, I'm really depressed just watching this video. But it's great bait. And he's not a very good artist too. That's another thing. I'm like, man, he's not a good. He's a pretty bad digital artist.
Oh, geez.
I'm not gonna. I don't remember his name anyway, but I'm not gonna say who it is regardless. But, but yeah.
What was in it? Just so I can write this down. When you mentioned Fang Zhu earlier, what was the name of the channel you said?
It's called Design Studio Cinema, I think.
Cinema. That was the last word. Design Studio Cinema. Okay, I can kind of dig around with that and find it, but
yeah, let me double check that right now.
Okay. All right.
Also, I got until 10. Is that okay?
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. So that's another 13 minutes, I guess. That's fine.
Yeah, sweet. Hold on 1 second. Design Studio Cinema. Is that what it was? I think it was Cinema. Instagram. Let's see videos. Yeah, that's it for sure. Design. Wait. The channel. Well, okay. If the channel itself is wait, what is the noise? FZD School. FZD School.
Oh, FZD School. All right.
Yeah, that's the name of the whole channel. But yeah, that guy's like a robot. That guy's so insanely good. Like, and he has huge demos online, and he barely he doesn't post a bunch, and because it's not YouTube's not his main thing. He's not a YouTuber. He's just like he went to art center, and then he has his own studio, and he has his own school. I think like in somewhere else. I can't remember, but
I think he broke up.
yeah, he's not like a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he's not. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's every once in a while it goes off a little bit, and then there's a slight delay. But it
Oh, can you hear me now? Hello. 1, 2, 3. Hello. 4, 5, 6.
I can hear you. It's just slightly delayed.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good channel. It's a good channel, but it's it's a really technical channel. Like when I watch it, I'm just like, oh man, this is like too much. And it's mostly concept art. It's
There's somebody I've been watching. He's really good. Frustratingly good actually, but he does more digital painting. He's from Australia, and I can't think of it. He does lives a lot. That's all he does is lives. It does long ones like 3-4 hours.
I think I know who you're talking about.
And really, really good caricatures and cartoon things. But he really works with color. Really good with color to create nice sense of depth in his images. And
if you find him, send it over later.
Yeah. Because when he goes live, he'll go live on both YouTube and Instagram at the same time. I wish I could think of his name, but he's just a young fella too. But boy, he's got a good sense of color.
Yeah, I'm pretty terrible at color. I gotta figure.
Yeah, I used to be better, and not anymore.
Yeah, I need to get back to that. Although I like never draw for myself ever. I'm just starting to kind of draw for myself again. I usually just draw for the channel and
right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's rare. Yeah, it's like ultra rare. I saw some great pencil monsters too that's popping in my feed, and I'm like, God, I love that. Because I don't like drawing in pencil very much in my sketchbook, because it always gets gross looking, when you close the book and you like mush it around, and if you carry it around with you. Do you know what I'm talking about? I
think so. Yeah.
Like it gets all like this. I smeared it a little, like a little foggy. If I want to do anything tight in pencil, it's gonna get foggy, I think.
I was gonna ask earlier. You still you still use Photoshop, right?
I use it for thumbnails now, but yeah, I still use it here and there. I'm mostly using Procreate now.
Oh, all right. Because I know Photoshop, especially for us here, it's really expensive. Like I dropped it a long time ago, and I grabbed Affinity Photo, just because. Well, I got Affinity. Affinity is a bit weird. It works a little bit differently because Photoshop, by Photoshop, you can do just in Photoshop, you can do painting and art stuff, and you can work with photography, where Affinity Photo I find really is photography. Like even though you can add pencils and things to it, it's a little bit weird for doing art. They want you to use Affinity Designer, but that's all. Affinity Designer is I don't know. It's not the type of stuff I usually do. It feels like Illustrator. Affinity Designer works more in vector and right. So it's a flat rate. If Affinity, you just pay it, and you pay one fee and you're done. It's not like Photoshop where you're paying some astronomical amount of money yearly or monthly.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, if I had to pay for Photoshop, I would have dropped it a long time ago. Like I told you, I got it through a friend of mine. But
that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's why. Yeah,
because sometimes it'll like just die on me, and I'm like, it's not working. And then it's like he'll just give me another code or something like that. If it dies out, he'll walk me through the setup again.
But that's why I kind of appreciate having Fresco now on, because it sort of has a similar layout to the Fresco for the what's only on the iPad, but the layout looks like Photoshop on the iPad, but it's actually way better.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. No, Photoshop for iPad sucks, but Fresco, artist Fresco is really good.
Do they have AI components built in there? Because I know that I have the new Photoshop and it has that AI stuff built in.
I don't think in Fresco yet it does. I
Okay.
won't say it
Yeah.
does. I haven't. If it's there, I haven't opened it up and done anything with it. But I don't think there is.
Yeah, the Photoshop that I can't get that to work right. I'm trying to for photos because sometimes I want to mess with photos, and then
Oh,
that was a highlight for me. Was I'm like, oh, okay, I'll use it to mess around with photos, but it just I don't think it's very good yet. But I might not have the hours into it, but I
I
don't
got
know.
Photomator actually because I have
What's up?
I have Pixelmator.
Yeah.
I grabbed Photomator for a year. I actually really like it. If you like playing around with photos, it's not as good as what's Photoshop's counter thing for photos? Lightroom.
Oh, Lightroom. Yeah.
Probably not as good as Lightroom, but it's
Mhm.
still really good.
Okay.
I tell people if you try Photomator, if you don't want to pay for Lightroom, try Photomator. It's really good.
Interesting. I have Lightroom too, so that was good. I meant as far as like adding goofy things in with the AI, you know.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But have you ever tried FaceApp?
No, I haven't tried that. I've heard
Do you
of
know what that
that.
is, or
FaceApp?
FaceApp's the one where you can. That's the one if you have a dating website, you can repair your face really well. This is before AI. This is like they've been using this for like
Wow,
3 or 4
really?
years. It's so good, and it's like pre-AI. I don't understand how it does it, but like for example, if your like eyes are too far away from each other, you can
Right.
press this button in to like make them a little closer, but it'll be
Oh,
perfect. Like
all
it's like
right.
somebody touched it, or
FaceApp?
yeah,
Okay.
it's called FaceApp. Yeah,
Mhm.
girls have been like everybody's been using for their dating profiles. It's literally what it's kind of marketed as,
Okay.
and it like it's so good. There's extreme changes you can make that, of course, will look funky, but like you can say put a beard on me, and it'll kind of do it pretty well. You know, like
Really?
it's
FaceApp?
weird that yeah, it's called FaceApp. It's really weird that predates AI because it's
Mhm.
so good. Like if there's blemishes on you, it'll kind of like smooth you out a little bit, but it won't make you look overly smooth like the way, you know, sometimes when people overly touch up their stuff does.
Is it
Oh,
is it on desktop or is it just for
it's an
mobile?
app. It's only for mobile. For what I know, it's only for mobile. But it's like kind of old. Like I was saying, people still use it though all the time. It's
Okay.
like 3 or 4 years old, I want to say. And it can make you smile, and it looks pretty close if it's straight up. You know, it'll
Right. Is it expensive? Most of those apps I know are kind of pricey.
I don't know. I don't pay for it anymore. I did use it like a long time ago, then I got rid of it. I think it's very minimal, like $10, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but you remember people were turning themselves into old people. Remember that phase?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that because that looked pretty good for a while too. But, they're very shockingly accurate. Because I saw a channel called Corridor Crew. Have you ever seen that channel?
Yes. Yeah, I have.
Yeah, they were going over the Face app when that was. I'm sorry, the Face app, the one where it makes you look like an old person. I can't remember which one it was, but at least the really good one because there was one that was like, man.
Oh, okay, yeah. I
There's one.
played around with it on TikTok, the TikTok's version.
Yeah, TikTok has one.
Yeah.
But they're talking about
De-aged
how
you as well.
yeah, the DH one's bad because I'm like, that don't look like that. I did not look like that as a little kid.
Yeah, I know. Same here.
I think the older one's more accurate because everybody ages in a very similar way, and
Right.
you already have the same head skeleton for the most part. It's just the
You also
drooping
don't
of
have
the.
any reference for that either yet, right? You don't know what you're gonna look like as you age.
Well, you know what what they did though.
Hmm.
I don't know if you saw this. It was on Corridor Crew. They took pictures like Morgan Freeman,
Okay.
Robert De Niro. They took pictures of them when they were young, and
Oh.
and aged those up, and it's like shocking how close they were. They were
Is that
really close.
right, eh? Jeez.
Yeah,
Hmm.
if you can find on the channel, it's probably a few years old, the video already, but yeah, that's how you test it, is you find pictures of people that are old now and see how they match up. And
Right.
some match up pretty well. Some don't, but a lot of them do. But yeah. Anyways, time for me to go. I'm gonna bail.
Okay.
Is there like a closeout? Is there any last thing?
I can't think of anything. It was nice to talk to you. Did you want to try and do one more before June 3rd or
Sure.
yeah?
June 3rd. Well, I'm gonna be out of town June. In 2 weeks from now, I can try to get like the 28th ish.
All right.
Okay, just message me.
Which night is the 28th? I don't have a calendar.
It's like Tuesday.
Is it okay? Is Tuesday better or is it?
I don't know. It depends on the week because I know I'm gonna be leaving the 30th to Austin, but just
Okay.
I can let's just say 2 weeks from now tentatively. I mean, can you message me like not this Friday but next Friday, and then I can tell you, a few days before what's a good day.
So the 24th, message you.
Yeah, just
All
message
right,
me and say,
I'll
hey,
put a reminder in so I remember because I forget shit like that. So
yeah, no problem. Okay, I'm gonna eat now, so I'll talk to you later.
all right, enjoy your food. Thanks for hopping in. Take care
See
then.
ya.
Okay, we'll talk in soon.
See ya.
Cheers.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna call it here. Thanks for watching, everybody. I didn't have too many people watching tonight, but as we said, we'll probably try and do another one in a couple of weeks, hopefully before I make the big trip. But if you're watching this on repeat, I do appreciate it. Like and subscribe, blah, 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 all that stuff. And we'll see you again very soon. And how do I click this? End stream. I think that's how it works. Play outro. Okay. Good night, folks.